Hello, welcome back to Bottom of the Well as we continue our Alice in the Wonderland post-apocalyptic story. So, last time I left us with a cliffhanger. Do we go to the fallout shelter? Or do we stay at a... It's not much of a cliffhanger, I realize, but... Oh well. So what? It's a minor cliffhanger that you won't find out until this episode. Which, we're going to the fallout shelter. The old-fashioned fallout shelter was down on 3rd. It wasn't far. Close enough to walk, anyway. Did you think to bring anything? Oh, right, yes. I grabbed the biggest bag I had. A backpack. People always called it magic. You could fit so much into it. Bigger on the inside and all that. You know, I've heard of a bag like that. It was in another magical story. What was it? Oh, yeah, Harry Potter! Oh, I have choices. Take flashlight, take map, take radio, take spare clothes, take sleeping bag, take food one day. Take food one day. How many can I take? How many do I hold? That'd be good to know. Okay, first off, food and sleeping bag. Take radio. Oh, this is feeling like a 60 seconds. I think that was the title. Was the Fallout Shelter one, where you gotta keep your family alive and you gotta get what you want to survive. I don't know how much inventory I have though, so I don't know what would be the next best thing to get. So I have food, sleeping bag, and radio. What else do I need? Well, I guess I could take the map for the hands. And I guess I get one more thing to put in the backpack. Who needs spare clothes? So I guess I could... Am I able to take both hands? Oh. I don't necessarily want the flashlight. I think I'm gonna take another food. Can I take it all? Oh, no, it's only letting me take certain things. I want another food. No, it's not letting me take the other food. Drop flashlight, take food. No, it's not letting me take food. So this is literally all I can do. These 5 items. I think that's about it. Oh, okay. So, how do I have +2 dating? +2 supplies, +3 career, +2 social life. No fitness, no survival. Okay. So that's basically setting up my... Okay, so that's basically setting up my stats. Wait, why is this not going anywhere? What do I do? What do I do, though? I have my supplies, but now what? Me. What now? To exit the inventory, click the red X. Okay, where's the red X? There's this, but I don't see any X. Oh, okay. Well, go on. What was it like? Did you run into trouble? You could say that. God, that shelter, so... I headed towards the shelter from my apartment. I'll admit, I was still kind of hoping it was all just some kind of big false alarm, and by tomorrow everything would be back to normal. Like an extreme version of Orson Welles' War of the Worlds broadcast. Actually, the panic that radio caused was greatly exaggerated, probably by Wells himself. And it worked. We still remember it today. Great ad campaign. Guess that English lit degree is coming into some use at least. Yeah, well, it didn't really feel like it. I remember trying to think of words to describe the way the streets felt, the way the city sounded. Turmoil, chaos, anarchy, tumult, pandemonium. The capital of hell. Now who's got a degree in lit? Stop stalling. Yeah, it's just so fucking damn. Like I said, everything felt so real. The panic in the streets, the accidents everywhere with no emergency responders showing up, and the ever-present siren. It was like everyone walked with their eyes to the sky, just expecting to see a flash. Did you make it to the shelter okay? The shelter was actually in the basement of a bar. They used it as storage, which was handy since there was a door towards the street. But there was no signs or anything like that anymore. I just knew about it from the Facebook conversation. Okay, wait. Isn't that the bar you always go to? The Rad Bar? And why is the background changing? Did I say you could change? And what is this? Oh, that's just the inventory screen. What is this then? That just bounces for some reason. There's that, and the map. Oh, hey. My apartment, Chess's apartment, fallout shelter. How do I leave the map? Okay. Heh, yeah. Go on, Alice. Did you get in? I went to what I thought was a side door. It wasn't the kind of alleyway I'd usually hang out in. I could just imagine junkies and hobos sleeping among those trash bags. Anyway, the suspense is killing me. So I knocked on the door and then immediately tried the handle. It was locked. Nothing happened for a while. Then the door opened just a bit. And she stuck out her head. She? The bitch queen. She was this red-headed chick who had taken charge of everything in there. She was the one who originally posted about the place, so I guess she felt she owned it somehow. Obviously the Red Queen. She stood in the doorway, looking me over, and then basically said, "We're full." Like it was an expensive club. Exclusive club, my bad. I can't believe they just keep you out for no reason. Was it actually full? Ha! Not a chance. There was a sign on the door that said capacity 100. There's just no way there was 100 people in there already. I said as much. She didn't reply. I guess you didn't just let it be at that. Okay, I have my options here. I tried talking my way in. I tried to push the door open. Said I wasn't the only one wanting to get in. I gave up. I'd say probably this one. But it was just you. Yes, but, like, in theory, there'd be others than just me. Did she buy it? She looked behind me and back at me and then repeated, "I'm sorry, but we're full." What'd you do? Okay, that didn't work. I tried talking my way in. You can't just leave me out here, and so forth. She just repeated that they were full, that there wasn't enough food for any more, that I should try to find some other place to hide. Stone cold bitch indeed. I tried telling her I wouldn't be a burden. I had brought food. I opened my bag and showed her. "You're nicer than I would be." What did she say? I wasn't being nice. I was being desperate. I was trying to figure out the rules of this sudden new reality. She hesitated. Then she said, "All right, but you have to share." A bribe, huh? How tempting. What was your answer? I don't want to lose my food. I know I'm not capable of fighting my way in. I'm gonna give up. I stepped back from the door, the sound of it slamming shut still echoing in my ears. It was the sound of desperation. I knew there'd be no more opening it. I had to think of something else. So you were right back where you started. Kind of. I don't really get why you didn't take the queen up on her offer, though. As distastefully close to the highway robbery as it was. I can't really explain it either, just a feeling I had. Something was off. So realistically, what were your options? Need to get out of town, or go to the apartment. Screw the apartment! You need to get out of here. So what was your plan? Well, I needed to get out the downtown area fast, which left me with a few options. The streets, I can imagine they must have been pretty bad. You live centrally, don't you? Yes, in this city, the central area is where the criminals are. Yes, indeed. Yep, the streets are bad. Really bad. Accidents everywhere. Gridlocked as far as the eye could see. Panic. Bedlam. Awful. So no buses, metro, and you don't own a car, correct? That's right, but I had a few options. One was to start walking until I got out of the gridlock zone and then steal a car. People were leaving them with the keys in the ignition, just running away. Why? Okay, sounds awful. And reasonable. Another would be to try to find a car as soon as possible, and then use it to make a way out of this gridlock. What, like in the action movies? A truck or a bus or something smashing through? Something like that. There's a third option. This one guy I know, who lives not far away, I know for a fact he has a motorcycle. I know for a fact he loves it and takes good care of it. Maybe he'd lend it to me. No, he would never. Lend his favorite thing to someone who is what? Is that even a word? I guess so. Leaving forever to live as a hermit out in the mountains. I'm sure he'd be thrilled. Maybe a bit of a long shot. I do know him pretty well. Maybe he'd consider that better than having to watch it melt in a nuclear furnace. Alright then, so what'd you decide to do? I'm stealing a vehicle. Uh-huh. By your description, that seems like kind of a bad idea. Well, finding a vehicle was easy, but they had all been abandoned for a good reason. They weren't going anywhere. I had to find one that could feasibly get out of there with. An abandoned one you could feasibly get out of there with. Right. So how did that go? I wasn't really sure what I was looking for, just that I needed a car. Stat. I found a station wagon open with the key in the ignition. No sign of the owner. I jumped in and gunned it, and got maybe half a block before I hit complete traffic stop. Everyone was beeping. People were abandoning their cars. All traffic rules forgotten. I'm not sure what else you expected. Yeah, well, I decided walking was the best option. The whole downtown area was gridlocked. Cars everywhere. People running down the sidewalks. And the sirens blaring. It was like one of those disaster movies. No hope of driving anywhere at any rate. But where was everyone going? Most of them were going home, I think. People were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there you were, running away from home. Once I made my decision, I stuck to it, no matter how much I was filled with doubt. Half an hour was nothing. Nothing at all. But luckily that estimate was completely wrong. Sometimes I'll walk half an hour in the wrong direction just because I stubbornly refuse to believe I'm lost. I didn't know it was the right direction, but I did try to get there as fast as possible, though that was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I was swept up in a mass of people and manhandling it in the wrong direction more than once. There's no period there. I guess it's a new sentence. Every few minutes I stopped to consult the map to make sure I was going in the right direction. Was there any danger? Like people attacking each other or something? No, I thought we were all going in the same direction, but then I realized that the crowd was heading somewhere I hadn't planned to go. A subway station. What'd you do? I was swept along. It was that or get trampled or pinned against some wall. I finally managed to disentangle myself at the stalled mass of people just outside the entrance. Apparently it was closed, and people were trying to break through the gates. By the time I was out, though, I had lost a lot of time. Time, yes. Isn't that the thing you were fighting here? How far away were you planning on getting? Well, a lot further than I had gotten at that point. I could practically still see my apartment building. But the crowd was still slowly thinning, at least, and I actually saw a vehicle in motion, an ambulance, weaving between stalled cars with the sirens blaring. What'd you do? I'm getting a car, damn it. Still not sure if you're ethically justifying this to yourself. I was scared out of my wits. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Fair enough. So how'd you go about it? I kinda jumped into the first open door I found. Of course there was no key because the driver still had it. He'd just been on the other side of the car. Seeing me sitting there, he had a minor apoplectic fit and ran at me, keys in hand. This game has used a lot of unusual dialogue, I've noticed. Just words you don't really ever see. God damn it, Alice! I knew you weren't car thief material. I panicked when I saw him coming and went for the door. He saw me do it and tried to stop me, but in my squirrely state I managed to close it in his face and then immediately lock it. Of course, he did have the key, but I managed to crawl out of the passenger door before he got the door open again. Lucky, lucky. Hey, it was my first attempt at car theft, even if it didn't go very well. I'm assuming you stopped after this. I skulked around for a bit longer, but I didn't dare try another car. The next guy might have a gun in his hand, not the keys. So I finally decided to stop wasting time and start walking. Shouldn't you be finding some kind of shelter? Well, I saw a streak over my head, trailing a white cloud. What? You were outside when the bombs fell? I don't know, I thought I'd have time to get away, but I just wasted too much time somehow. I was out on the street when the initial shockwave came. There was just no duck and cover could have saved any of us out there from that, I don't think. Next thing I know, I'm showered in glass as every window above us shatters. Cars swerved off the road and crashed. Bedlam and light, bright light. I tried to crawl out of the way when something hit me. Maybe a piece from a building? I don't know. I blacked out. You have a really fucked up imagination, Alice. It didn't feel like a dream. That's the thing, because you don't wake up in dreams, do you? But I did. Bleeding, alone, out on the street. What'd you see? Oh, man. It's starting to get really interesting. I saw a burning city. Ash rained down. And downtown, far too close, a mushroom cloud just staring me in the face. It was the end of the world. I just knew that there and then. Jeez. And then there was a streak of light, and actually almost beautiful as it fell from space. Just a streak of light. At only a slight angle. I just had time to think, no, we've had enough before it hit. For some reason, I elected to stare right at it when it impacted above the ground in a terrible fireball. Ugh, please tell me the dream ended here. Yeah, I didn't really see it though, but I died eventually in the dark. And thus concluded my dream. Well, that was interesting. What do you think? I think it felt incomplete, like there was something missing. That wasn't the way it was supposed to end, you know? Dreams are supposed to end in certain ways. This one was, I think. I felt like it was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening closely enough. Man, you could try again next night. See if you hear the same recording. Speaking of, what frequency was this on? That's the weird part. When I tried to see, I realized I had hit the right channel. And that it was in fact reading Alice in Wonderland. And this isn't exactly some obscure numbers station frequency on the AM bands. Well, maybe you'll dream it next night again anyway. That's the good thing with dreams. You can always dream them again. And maybe do something different the second time around. So I guess I failed. Some point along the line, I did something wrong, and I died. Seems like a rather fitting way to go. Oh, better prepared, first death. Oh, great. They're going to have multiple death counters. So I think I'm going to leave that one there. Finishing our first try at this. I'll try again in the next episode, and possibly beyond that. See what more we can find out about this. See what else there is to see. What other choices I can make. What else I can do. Because I know there's a lot more to do with this. So I'll see you guys next time in Bottom of the Well. Bye.